Hi, my name is Jean-Pierre, or JP, and I am a servant of the Word. And I'd like to tell you about the journey that God has taken me on, and about my life now as a servant of the Word. I was born in Lebanon, in a Christian family. My family was very committed and active in the church, and we were also members of the People of God community in Lebanon. So from a very young age, I was raised in a pretty strong Christian background. I had a lot of role models of people who were living their lives for the Lord and serving the Lord very actively. And I got to know many of the servants of the Word brothers because they would come and visit the community. So at one of the community meetings in Lebanon, one of the servants of the Word brothers was giving a presentation about the servants of the Word. And during that meeting, God spoke to me clearly, and I came out of it with a conviction that I should explore servants of the Word life. And one of the reasons was that it really resonated strongly with a desire I had to make a complete offering of my life to God and to dedicate my life to serving Him. So a few years later, I started university, and to be honest, when putting in my university applications, I had no clue, but I loved math and physics, so the obvious thing to go for, at least in Lebanon, was engineering. I got into the American University of Beirut and studied computer and communications engineering. In my second year of university, I became an affiliate, which meant I started formally and seriously considering the life of the servants of the Word, deciding that I have found the pearl of great price, which is Jesus, and I wanted to sell everything and follow Him. But He was showing me that selling everything and following Him is a costly process and not an easy process. To look at it in another light, I think God was showing me that I can't do this on my own, and that from the beginning I should go in with an expectation that if I'm going to live this life, I'm going to live it by God's grace and not by my own strength. At the same time, during my years of uni, the desire to serve God with my whole life, which was one of the things that attracted me in the first place to the servants of the Word, this desire was growing stronger, especially as I was heavily involved in serving in our university group in Lebanon. So after finishing up my university degree, I moved to Belfast and lived with the brothers there. And it was a big move for me. I was moving from my home culture to a foreign culture. I was leaving behind my family and my friends. And I also, in that move, experienced a big change from a place where I was doing a lot of service, where I was feeling fruitful and productive and making a big difference, to a place where I didn't feel that as much. And that was difficult. But God was also working through that. He was showing me that maybe my motives were not as pure as I thought they were, that maybe mixed in with my desire to serve Him was also a bit of desire for my own glory. He has brought me over the last few years to a place where now I really feel like I am being fruitful in serving Him. I really feel like I have a contribution to the kingdom that I am making, and I am living a life of serving God very actively. Whether I feel appreciated or not, if I want to follow Him, I want to obey Him and do His will. So in August 2018, 7 years after I had left Lebanon, I made my lifelong commitment to live as a servant of the Word. And I really made this commitment out of a place of freedom, out of a place of conviction that this is pleasing to the Lord and that I will be able to serve Him and build His kingdom as a servant of the Word. And I made this commitment because I wanted to offer my life completely over to God, to serve Him with my whole life, and to live a life dedicated to glorifying Him and to telling others about His goodness, and to do all of that alongside other men who have chosen for the same things and who can support me and call me on in living for God. Every morning we have 2 hours of prayer and worship and study and meditation on the Bible. And every night we end the day together in prayer. And this pattern of prayer is very central to the mission that we do. It is a bit like a tree being planted by streams of water, and taking water so that it can bear good fruit. And prayer life for us is what gives us the nutrients we need in order to bear good fruit in serving the Lord. And we also have other events together. We have dinner together 3 times a week. We have Lord's Day celebration. We welcome the Lord's Day every Saturday night. This really gives me life, this aspect of brotherhood in our lives, the relationship I have with the brothers. We are very much involved in the life of a local community called Antioch. I have a few different hobbies, many of which I actually get to do with some of the other brothers. So I love to run. I go out for a run a few times a week. I love to read. I love to play football, which you usually get to do at least once a week with other men from the community. Obviously, I'm living away from my family and from my friends whom I grew up with, and there's a real cost there. These are relationships that have given me a lot of life throughout my years. But on the other hand, I really feel like I have a home here in London, in the community. I have a lot of strong relationships with families and individuals in the community where I get a lot of support. I have a lot of younger brothers and sisters that are a bit like nephews and nieces for me, including 2 godchildren. These days, I spend some of my time serving in admin work as a support for our mission, using my computer skills, doing finance work to facilitate our life and the work of our communities, and caring for our house. And I also spend a lot of time serving on the front line. One of the reasons why I joined the Servants of the Word was to be able to be more devoted to the mission God has given us. And I see myself doing that both in the frontline mission work as well as in the admin work that supports those who are doing mission. One of the areas I am serving in currently is youth work. I've been involved in youth work in different forms over the last few years, and currently I am leading the team that does youth work in the community here in London. There's 10 of us on the team, and we look after the young men and women who grew up in the community, who are aged around 12 to 18 years old. I'm also on the staff team for Koinonia, which is our university outreach group here in London. One of the things I do is I lead a small group, helping them in their journey of Christian discipleship, doing some one-on-one stuff with them, but also meeting as a small group and sharing about our lives. And I've been involved in running a few different high-impact events, such as Weekends Away, Life in the Spirit retreats, and the Summer Household Program, which we've been running for the last 3 years. I am very thankful to the Lord for the journey that He has taken me on and for the life that He has given me as a servant of the Word. It's been a journey that's had its challenges, but the Lord has used those to bring me to the place where I am right now, and to a place where He has given me a lot of great brothers who can stand alongside me. It's a place of joy, it's a place of peace in serving Him.